This is actually a framework. And I'll show you really quick how this actually works, why this is so important. So number one is think big. Why? Anybody ever read the book Think and Grow Rich? Anybody ever read that? Think and Grow Rich? Ever wonder why it's not called Manifest and Grow Rich? Why it's not called Do a Bunch More Stuff Than You're Already Doing and Get Rich? No. The very first step is think. So today we're going to be thinking. We're going to be truly thinking, diving into it. But thinking doesn't get stuff done, right? We got plenty of leaders in our companies, I'm sure you can relate to this, who are excellent thinkers, right? But they kind of aren't performing at the level of the doing yet. It's because they're missing some steps. Once you think, you have to dream. So this is your start point. The very first thing. I have a thing called speed of success. We'll learn about it in a minute. You have to start with thinking. But before you do anything else, you have to imagine what success actually looks like. See, when we think we daydream, that's not actually thinking about stuff that's not going to happen. What you're actually doing is telling your mind, remember your mind is set to save you. So when you think it, your mind says, help. See, yeah, we'll go over here. Help or hurt. That's what your mind says. Help or hurt. We must control the response by saying, okay, that could happen. But this is the outcome. Is that outcome more meaningful than the possibility of the hurt? Does the growth, does the joy, does that which is set forth before us on the other side of our hill, right? Does that outweigh the pain it's going to take? When you go to the gym, I hate lifting these weights, but eventually I'm going to get biceps like crazy. I'm going to get shirts that get tight on my arms when I take a drink of my coffee. And it's worth the pain. That's what we have to show our brain. It's worth the pain. That's what dreaming does. See, this shows value. Super important. Thinking shows your brain the value. Binary, yes or no, help or hurt. Dreaming shows worth. Vastly different. Worth is why you'll do it when it gets hard. Value's not. It's the worth that makes that possible. Once you understand something's worth, right? You think about the value. You understand its worth. You then have to actually, and this is where we get it wrong. We'll say, okay, value. Okay. Well, Clint, I know the outcome's so important that I got to do this. Great. So we go, and I'm going to do it. And internally, we're like, probably not going to work. Why? Because we're grading success. We are grading success off failure. Why? Because our brain is taught to survive. It's created to survive. So why would it be like, you remember last time you walked over that log, broke your ankle? Let's do it again. Your brain's not going to do that. Your brain is created by the divine to be your babysitter. It will never believe the outcome's greater than the risk. We'll never do it. There comes a point where you must have faith to believe. I believe I can do this. Now, there's a process for that, but we'll get into that later. But you have to have faith that the value you are creating will build the worth you know is possible. So the only thing left to do, having done all to stand, do the thing. Put do the thing in the chat. Hashtag do the thing. Once you've done all of this, you ain't got nothing else left to do. But do it. Just go do it. Well, what if it fails? Remember this over here? It failed last time. Great. Do it anyway. Yeah, but you don't know. Man, people used to make fun of me. Oh my God, you won't even believe what they used to say at the B&I groups. I would always go in there, and it was just like, oh man. Do it anyway. Why? Because that's their future. This is your moment. Do it anyway. Do the thing. Because once you do that, the results will be big. You know why? Not because the results are bigger. Not because the results are more important. Because you grew. You grew. You're bigger. So your results are going to be bigger. At the end of these 3 days, you're going to be bigger.